Welcome to an exclusive and very intimate look behind the scenes at the most provocative movie in years. The international box office hit, Striptease, featuring the gorgeous Demi Moore as you've never seen her before. Striptease was written, directed, and produced by Andrew Bergman and Mike LaBelle, and also stars the outrageous Burt Reynolds with Armand Assant and Ving Rhames. But our show wouldn't be complete without a look at the wild women who play the other strippers alongside Demi Moore. And we're going to talk to them and watch them as we expose the inside story of this very sexy movie. So sit back and relax as we probe the exotic world of striptease. The tantalizing art of taking it all off started centuries ago, but our story begins about 100 years back. To find the start of modern striptease, you have to look to the middle of the 19th century. A new form of entertainment known as burlesque or music hall hit the stage and quickly became phenomenally popular. The shows featured comedians, singers, and novelty acts, but it was the sexy stuff that packed them in. These risque performances were a massive draw, and people came from miles around to watch the dancing girls, to hear the latest music, and to see the elaborate costumes disappear. Competition between rival strippers became very fierce, and they realized that the only way to keep their audiences loyal was to create unique acts with clever new gimmicks. For example, Sally Rand used fans and feathers to tickle her audience's fancy. And the legendary Rosita Royce actually trained birds to help her remove pieces of clothing. But that was then. This is now. The art of taking it all off has become fashionable again, and there are thousands of busy strip clubs and bars all over the world. Things may have changed everywhere else in the last 100 years, but for the strippers, it's business as usual.
The music and costumes and all the imaging that goes into making it a show is very important. It's an illusion.
To use your music kind of like, like a symphony, bring people up, bring them down, kind of take them on a little journey with the music.
In order to make myself stick out, I really have to go out there and work hard and make myself known and go and talk to each guy.
I guess I'm more on the shyer type and wear like cutesy little outfits and friendly. I always have a smile on my face. So everyone has their own personality.
You can look like Cindy Crawford and come in here and do laps around the place. You have to be able to sell yourself, to let these guys think that you are better than the rest.
Striptease features Hollywood's hottest actress bearing all for the cameras, and Demi Moore took the challenge very seriously. This meant long, grueling hours both in the gym and in the dance studio. But a convincing performance also means getting inside your character's head, and that means research. Demi hit the strip clubs.
To step into an arena that I still had some kind of conditioned ideas of what the world and the women and the men who go to these places are like. And the first thing that I think I gained was a more broadened perspective of what it really means to accept women as opposed to accepting women based on women who do what I want them to do, or women who only represent what I think I want them to represent. Because these are women in general that I think feminists would say are negative role models for women. And what I found as I stepped into the world is I found women very much like the character, and some women like the stereotype. But the women I found like my character, I realized were women who were doing what they felt were the best thing they could do for their children. And I thought, how can I judge them any more than I would judge a waitress or somebody who chose to be a secretary? And on the personal side, dancing and the idea of the emotion and the sensuality of it, and that opportunity to find that type of expression was very freeing for me, and actually kind of gave me a greater confidence in myself.
In a quest for authenticity, Demi went to the professionals for tips and hints from the real world of striptease. It was the only way to make her characterization complete.
Okay, so tell me, girls, waxing or shaving?
Shaving.
And what's the average tonight? You guys, 4 a night? wild.
Go like this.
Shall we all try to do it?
Now all you.
Demi, there's about 20 guys out there that want you to dance for them.
I'm not quite ready yet.
How do you do that? Well, that I can't do. Well, you have to have your bones done. This means you're dressed. Do you like my new outfit?
Put hairspray on it, and then it makes it stick all night. And then you put powder over it so it's not as shiny. Because mine...
It's not covered enough and you can see through it.
Despite society's constantly changing attitudes, stripping has been with us for centuries and still shows no sign of losing its fascination. Now it's the subject of a major Hollywood movie. What is it about this ancient art that continues to draw people in?
I've been dancing about 10 years, and the first time I decided to dance, I was really enthusiastic about it until I got on the stage, and my feet wouldn't move. Nothing moved. And by the end of the song, the manager's in the back waving his hand, going, take it off, and I'm like, no. At the very, very end, I finally gave him a little tiny peek.
I always thought that it would be something that I would like to do at least once. And I think that most women have that feeling because you know, you don't have to be an exhibitionist to do it. But I think that we all have that within ourselves to want to just get up there, feel that thrill, feel the excitement.
Up until that time, it was like a stripper like popped out of a cake, and you know, I had no idea, you know, what the whole business was about. And I walked in with a girlfriend who was dancing, and I just couldn't believe my eyes. I couldn't believe that these girls are doing these things, and just the way that they move their bodies, and it just seemed like another planet to me, like a whole other world. And I didn't ever think I'd, you know, have the guts to get up and do it, but I did.
They blow when you're dancing, and I just can never figure out where that comes from. And there's quite a few times where I would go and ask the guy and say, why do you blow on me like that? You know, does it do something for you to blow on me like that?
One time a guy threw a $100 bill by mistake at me. He said, no, that's supposed to be a $5.
I think that I play therapists a lot. I think that a lot of them just want to come in and have a good time.
I've had a few guys that have had crushes on me. You just have to be friendly and talk to them and let them know that this is your job.
I'm a nurse now, and that's something that people here in this club don't expect you to be. They don't expect you to be in the medical field. They see you as a dancer, period.
I go to school, I have 2 degrees, I'm well educated, you know, and I think that it takes all kinds to do anything. But I think that the important thing now is that whatever you do, you should do it the best of your ability.
From strip club to silver screen, the producer and the director of Honeymoon in Vegas and The Freshman bring you Striptease. An everyday story of politics, striptease, revenge, striptease, and murder. And, did we mention striptease?
It's about a girl who loses her child to an ex-husband who's a real sleazo.
My ex-husband is a thief. That hardly qualifies him to raise a 7-year-old child.
Neither does being a mother without a job.
It's her struggle to get the child back. She takes a job as a stripper to earn some money to get her child back, to pay for the court case.
I've always wanted to do a book by Carl Hayes. It's just a wild sense of humor.
I got it. How about pasta wrestling?
Striptease was the first book of his that I saw you could really make a movie out of.
The movie's going to be very rich. Just wonderful characters.
He looks like that guy on F Troop.
Manischewitz! God has tested Congressman David Dilbeck because he cannot resist a naked woman. He loves to go to striptease joints and stare, and he falls flat dab in love with Demi.
Various stiffs occasionally float up in the course of the movie.
There's a floater!
I play a homicide detective in Broward County, Florida. Al Garcia, who is on vacation when suddenly this very complicated case literally washes up on the lake that he's swimming in. Thus begins the adventure that he has following a group of strippers around to find out the source of information that he needs to solve the case.
People are pigs. Sit on movies like they own them.
Chad is the bounce at the club. He's a man who especially loves Demi Moore's character.
I know you, Erin. Something's up.
Trust me.
He makes it his business to not only protect her while in the club, but also in her life outside of the club.
You're Mrs. Grant?
No, I'm Barbara Bush.
Who is he?
George Bush.
DEMI is probably one of the most amazing natural dancers I've ever met. It's been really a collaboration. I designed all of the choreography to really bring out the best of their abilities.
Kick. There you go. Exactly.
Here.
And that's a nice line for you. Now go right down from there.
Right?
Exactly. And then pop your head up right.
I stepped over with my right foot.
In the back of the yeah. Each girl looks different, and they should. They should all look like they either choreographed it themselves or had different choreographers.
We were looking for girls, A, who didn't all look the same, who were funny and had a specific personality, and who could dance and were attractive. And we've got a pretty good cross-section of real-looking women. I think we were very lucky.
Well, I play Monique Jr., and it's sort of the young one from the club. I think she's right out of high school, and she keeps seeing stars in the audience, and she name drops a lot.
Larry King's at table 6.
I play Ariel Sharon, Israeli stripper. I think I'm on the Broadway stage of Tel Aviv. It's white collar, it's high class. Now it's yuppie entertainment.
It's become such a phenomenon in the last 10 years that strip clubs are a place where people go now. And you see very successful young guys in suits and ties and women going to strip clubs, having a good time.
There's something in this film for everyone.
Cream corn wrestling. You go into the corn. You set a great example to the other girls.
No.
Striptease. It's sexy, it's sensual, and above all, fun. You'd certainly have to say that it's the most revealing form of self-expression. Now, you may be saying to yourself that there's no way you'd ever take your clothes off in front of hundreds of people. But remember, we're all naked underneath, and as long as there are men and women out there who enjoy a good tease, there'll always be gorgeous strippers ready to please. We hope you've enjoyed the show, and now that we've teased you almost to distraction, it's time for the main event, Striptease.
You can go home, baby.